When we design products, the goal is to optimize the relationship between a product and a person. In 1997, the field of experience design was named and it was defined so that was the first time they officially included the customer as a part of the product design process. And basically, a product is pointless unless it is both desirable and useful to somebody, hopefully to many people. Early in the process, the way that they did this was by creating personas. And this is a way of dealing with it that I never really understood, despite the fact it was used so often. I think it became popular because it was easy to do and easy to explain somebody how to do it, much easier than the type of things that I'm teaching you here. The problem with it is that the focus is on the external characteristics of a person. Oh, what do they eat for breakfast? That does not really affect how you use the product. And if we look at a different model, say successful computer games like The Sims or tabletop games like Dungeons and Dragons, how do they make a character sheet? It's all focused on internal qualities. Does this person have charisma? How much stamina do they have? And I don't play any of these, so I don't know what the real list is, but I have looked at them enough to know that these look at very different types of characteristics that actually motivate people, that actually affects how people do things. And it's this focus on the internal parts of a person. This may seem a foreign concept to you at the moment, but you do have experience of others using these tactics on you. I can show you how sales and marketing have used these techniques for over 100 years. Transferring this body of knowledge to design can enhance your ability to connect with your users through how you design. This results in customers who are thrilled with the experience of using your products. The basis of this is neuroscience and other related research that underlies techniques used by advertisers, copywriters, propagandists, and image consultants. Knowing how people think, how brains work, is effective. But I do add this caution: avoid using this information to manipulate other people for nefarious goals. I call this the dark arts of design. In today's society, we are swimming in a sea of information that is competing for our attention. And many people and companies have gained prominence through strategic use of these dark art techniques. They are called dark arts because they are hacks into the normal human thinking patterns that are used to capture attention of unsuspecting humans and then attempt to hold it hostage. Do you think today's products are improving, or do you think they're getting harder to use? I think they're getting harder to use, which is why I think it's important that I share some of the techniques that I've been using through my entire career. The good news is that you can improve your design decisions based on the science that underlies these nefarious tactics. And wait, there's more. In learning the wizard design process, I can show you how to recognize these dark arts and how to defend yourself against them. It's like exposing the secrets of a stage magician, doing his fanciful feasts? It sounds like a cat food. These dark designs are powerless once you can recognize what they're actually doing. Once you've revealed the magician's tricks, they no longer look nearly as magical. The lesson for today will be more interesting if we take a field trip away from the design team for this introduction to the dark arts of design. Many of the techniques target the limbic system in the brain. The limbic system is the gatekeeper that assesses threat levels for everything you encounter. And then it can instantly shift your hormones, and in milliseconds, this shift has influenced the way you perceive what's around you and how you're going to pay attention. You have experienced this maybe. Let's Have you ever been to, say, a haunted house on Halloween and something whoo, jumps out at you? You scream and jump before you even realize what's been there. And you're like, oh, yeah, I didn't see it, but you've already reacted to it. So this is something that's built in very deeply into us as a protective mechanism. And when it's done for fun, it's good for a giggle. Or maybe you can recall a particularly long day where everything was just tedious. Maybe you've been driving for 24 hours and you finally catch sight of your house. You're almost there. If you pay attention to the sight of your home, the minute you see it, your body will physically relax a little bit as it senses you're about to go to a safe and comfortable space. Think about this. What is the difference in the thoughts that flood your head just after thinking of either of these two events? Filmmakers, comedians, and many others know how to connect with audiences. They may not be up on the latest in neuroscience, yet they do know how to trigger emotions by the use of images, sounds, and words. Studies have shown that combining sensory information with carefully crafted representations are key to creating amazing experiences that you can share with other people. The specialists in the dark arts hack into this to gain power over others for personal gain and to the detriment of their customers or anyone else who might even criticize them. They don't want to be found out because then it's not going to work anymore. I want to show you a concise, which I call a left brain example of how this works. We're just going to walk through the mechanics of it now. So you see a stranger across the room. Your heart is aflutter. You can feel this because your limbic system has recognized something special, something that's likely going to make you feel really good if it turns out right. So the limbic system alerts your right brain to be ready for something awesome. And in less than a second, your right brain has gathered a cloud of your best romantic ideas and sent them over to your left brain so that you're ready to act on this opportunity. When the signal's too strong, you may be left there speechless and stuttering because your left brain has panicked. It got overstimulated. And since the language center's on the left side, there's nothing you can do until it's back engaged again. Otherwise, you're just standing there speechless. So now some time has passed. Let's say it's a year later. You gaze across the room, and who do you see? It's the same person. The person who broke your heart. Your limbic system now has associated that image with strong, painful memories. So it sends a danger signal this time to your right brain, which now collects a cloud of all the horrible things that happened. And it probably throws in some other emotional disasters to send over to your logical brain so you're fully prepared to handle what comes. Why is the experience of these situations so different? The cue is identical in both cases. You see a person across the room. The difference is in how your limbic system reacts. This is the experience of the situation. And it depends on which hormones have been activated and how the rest of your brain is responding based on these physiological changes. Take a moment to think about the thoughts that just went through your head as I was talking about the two situations. An internal change alters how you perceive your environment and your options. So now you get the basic idea on how this works. Our brains are doing this kind of signaling all day, every day, generally on a much milder level, but far too often the limbic system is triggered by a constant influx of advertisements, the news, and even paid influences. This is made worse now because there are bots designed to play in this sandbox to influence your brain in one way or another, to benefit somebody. No wonder there are so many anxiety and stress disorders this year. Let's look at one overused technique that always annoys me. This is a dark arts tactic that I call the good news. You know, the letter you get from somebody like a landlord or a policymaker in your company that starts with good news, followed by a run-on sentence about how happy you should feel about the rent increase. How would you expect the limbic system to interpret the phrase good news, back the first time when you saw it? Before you get a chance to think about it, your physiology is prepping your brain to receive good news. Your face will relax, eyebrows may raise, your eyes dilate to see more possibility of how this can benefit you. And it is also disengaging your critical thinking. This phrase primes the left brain to filter out anything that interferes with your identifying the benefit that could be coming your way. In the 1970s, the new ideas of neurolinguistic programming were quickly adopted by dark designers for their own nefarious purposes. They loved the idea of a magical formula that slips past normal mental defenses while feeling superior, believing that their unlimited powers of persuasions will have no consequences. The original text. Good news. Management happily has your new rental agreement ready for you to sign to confirm that you want to fully enjoy all the amenities we offer for a full year. Notice that the discount is offered to current residents for signing a full year contract. As you reread it, your critical brain translates the message to, we are raising your rent. We are following the local laws to the letter. We would have raised it more if we could. My limbic system instantly tags the words good news as a threat, that I need to instantly engage my critical thinking because whoever wrote it is using dark design tactics and believes that I'm not going to notice it. Over time, the more this type of thing gets confirmed, there's more disgust with the letter, and this will start to expand to other things related to the letter, like the company or anyone who's using these tactics. The point is that people learn and adapt all the time, yet these companies believe the tactics will keep working forever. Obviously, they don't read the memes. How do you defend against the tactics commonly used by dark art designers? Start by learning to recognize your own signals, the signals you get from your right brain, and build a habit to switch to your critical thinking mode to handle these situations. You just have to look again, using both sides of your brain. This dark spell is defeated the moment you recognize the intent. As a designer, you should know how quickly these tactics backfire. They create limbic reactions of disgust for your products, rather than the expected blind obedience. Design wizard techniques begin by respecting your customers as intelligent human beings. Then, step by step, I will show you how to use color, shapes, patterns, animations, and all sorts of things that can have a physiological impact in a way that will help a user clarify things like interface cues and simplify the overall user experience for your products. This week, see if you can identify your own body signals for cognitive dissonance. When something doesn't feel quite right. It happens when the concepts on each side of the brain are at odds with each other. An easy place to find examples is to look at the news, where there is usually subtext that is quite different between the photographs, the headlines, and the actual words used in an article. Please click on the like button, subscribe, and share this video. Write in the comments below how you feel about these type of tactics. Do you recognize the good news tactic and others? And especially if you were able to figure out what it feels like for you when you're experiencing cognitive dissonance.